Welcome back to the State Farm Analyst Desk, the LCS. We're lucky to be joined by a deservedly exhausted Contracts after a wild game. The whole weekend, honestly, for CLG, pretty wild.
Two
1-1
bangers.
on the weekend, but both games were absolute bangers. Are you... Where's the heart rate at right now?
This one was definitely, I had more adrenaline in this one than the game yesterday. Yesterday was just a snooze fest, but this one was back and forth fighting with like Elder Dragon, Barons up. Like one single mistake can just like turn a fight instantly.
We'll start with how the game ended. Because there were a million fights.
Man, I was looking at my team here and I was just hoping, I hope they win. I cannot help them whatsoever. I'm just finishing this as fast as I can and I hope my team wins.
Were you giving them any sort of call-outs and comms? Like, I almost have it down or anything?
Yeah, I was saying I almost have Elder and then you guys can probably fight more aggressively, but I mean, they were already doing that. Actually, I have another good thing from this clip. So at the end here, when Xin Zhao we didn't show it.
That's right, still talk
when Xin Zhao comes to kill me and I go on him, I kill Xin Zhao and then Gragas, I kill Gragas first and then Xin Zhao goes on me. Dokla pushes my shoulder as I'm fighting. Like he's
so jacked up.
He's so hyped.
Yeah.
He pushes my shoulder and I like misclick. My mouse goes flying.
Yo,
dude,
report him.
I could have just died.
I am completely prepared to get no as an answer. But if it is possible for us to go back
check player cam
and check player cams, I would absolutely love
because
see the moment.
Well, you were fighting. Dokla was just on the Nexus turret. It's like, we won.
I want to see the moment
His hands
where
up just pushing me or something.
a hand comes flying into Contracts' camera. And,
I got so nervous, man.
That's such a brilliant little moment. Thank you for that piece of color. They're going to see if they can find it. If they do, great. They'll show it to us. If not, no worries. You can go back on YouTube, I'm sure,
there it is.
or Twitch VODs and find it yourself. That's a ton of fun.
For people coming at the end, I know that we got to show the second Elder, but the first Elder where you're chunked so low and you're just trying to find a way to steal it. Like, what's your perspective on that one? Because it felt like the game was slipping away, especially after they were able to pick it up.
Yeah, that one was a little bit doomed. We had some shenanigans going on with Luger top. We weren't really sure what we were doing too much. I think his comments were like, oh, I'm gonna force them top. I'm gonna force them top. I don't know. He's in his own head, you know. He's trying to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were not on the same page there and ended up like in a bad scenario. I should have just recalled and probably tried to go for like a Baron steal or something.
In looking at these two compositions and the way they matched up against each other, it's funny that you talk about that and like lane assignments, because looking at the other side, we're looking at EG and we're like, you have a really good poke comp, and they keep opting into fights against you. How surprised were you? And like, were you like, okay, we can win this as long as they keep going and fighting us?
Yeah, for sure. I think there was a few fights where Impact kind of overextended a bit on Gragas. I think the last game-winning fight was well, not game-winning fight, but a fight before we before we went to Elder. Impact stepped up too far mid, and I got an EW on him, and it started like a good fight. So yeah, I mean, they didn't really respect like our engage angles too much, but yeah, I definitely think if they played more with their range, it could have been better for them.
I got good news.
Yeah.
Oh, we have
got
it?
it.
They found
All right,
it.
let's
Oh, I
go.
want to see this.
Take a look. I'm so
Let's
excited.
see what we have here.
All right.
Okay.
So this is where we picked up
Watch
on the
Contracts
replay.
player cam and Dokla,
Yeah.
I guess.
All right,
Two on
Poom's
your far
clapping.
left.
He's feeling good. And like, what happened was you guys started pushing down mid, and Dokla just kind of blitzed through, and they, I think, tried to like cut the wave or something, or get on top of you.
Yeah.
So you get split from him here, and he's just like
it's
saying
kind of
he's gonna win.
interesting.
Well, I'm
He's
confident I can
so
beat
good.
Xin Zhao in a 1v1 here. Yeah, I mean, actually, I 1v2'd here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
You're popping off.
All right,
So,
where's this?
where's the hand? It's coming soon, I think.
Yes!
I love that so much. Oh, that's so brilliant. Oh my goodness.
My mouse went
Big
flying.
jokes.
We had a brief moment. I just wanted to talk about kind of the weekend as a whole and where you are at 2 weeks into the season, because there's been so much conversation around CLG and the hot start that you guys had with the 3-0. I think very quickly, probably as due to like historical performance of CLG, after taking that loss yesterday, people were very quick to pull back and be like, okay, I don't know anymore. Like, where are you on the success that you guys have had so far, being at 4-1, as compared to your expectation, and generally how you feel you stack up against the rest of the league? Because it doesn't feel like it's as clean cut as everyone thought coming into week 1.
Yeah, I mean, we went to Korea this offseason, so I'd say after this boot camp that we had, we all came in with like really like strong mindsets and a lot of confidence. Especially like the first week of scrims, we were doing really well. Especially me as a player, I felt like I gained a lot of things from Korea that I could take to NA, and you know it's definitely showing in my play this split that I'm definitely like a level up than what I was playing last split. So yeah, I mean I think we're a really good team, and yesterday we definitely blundered. I didn't have my best game. We were still in positions to win that game, but unfortunately we couldn't do it. But I mean I think we definitely have a bright future for us this split, and I think we'll definitely show that we can be a top team,
Hell
Top
yeah.
5?
Ooh.
top 1.
Top 1.
Oh,
baby. Raz is the happiest person on the
I
desk
would
to
never
hear that.
habanero. This is what I like. And so, like, for me, because, like, coming in from last split to this split, a lot of the times the most interesting thing is kind of, like, picking the mind of players like yourself where, like, what are your personal goals at? Because so often it can get clouded by, like, team goals where we're at, you know, as a squad. But, like, you went to Korea, you know, basically was able to grind individually. It feels like you're playing a lot more Champions Queue, so I'd love to know more, like, your perspective on that. So, like, what is a goal that you're personally coming into this split wanting to work on?
Definitely just putting in as much as I can. Right?
Yeah.
Just playing more Champions Queue, playing more solo queue, putting more effort, just overall in general. Just not taking it for granted, for sure. But I think me going to Korea has really like allowed me to enjoy the game kind of more. I feel like Korea definitely like lit up a new spark in me, I guess. So definitely grateful for that.
I want to talk about one of your teammates real quick. Big Dokes.
Big Dope.
Jokes.
It was awesome that you called back to that moment. He's clearly a hype man on the team. Like already the way that this guy interviews, love his confidence, talking about both himself and the whole squad. It's very clear that in the games, he's one of the major pieces of communication. I just always see his mouth moving. He's punching his teammates at just the right moments at the end of a game.
You got the kills. Great.
Yeah, exactly. End the game. What's it been like to work with Dokla as he steps back on to the LCS stage? This is a guy who's had, you know, his fair share of ups and downs as well in his career, but by all accounts, he seems to be playing at his highest level that we've ever seen.
Dokla is a great teammate. He works really hard. I mean, me and him are the last ones in the office until like 12 in the morning. So, you know, I kind of like push myself off of that as well because, you know, just having another teammate that like puts in that amount of effort definitely helps me like level up my gameplay as well. So, I mean, yeah, he just has a lot of confidence. You know, he brings that to the team. So, just good vibes all around for sure.
Feels like talking to your, you know, the teammates that you have. You're never missing out in confidence. Like Luger, Palafox, like a lot of these guys, including yourself, like has a lot of innate confidence in their in themselves, and it kind of shows in the select. Like the Seraphine's one thing, the Yone's another. Like it always feels like you guys are willing and able to counterpick and feel comfortable on red side, and that feels like something a conversation where you guys have like a champion pool. Like you guys have had probably the biggest change, in comparison to the other teams in terms of draft. Like, can you speak to that a little bit without obviously outing yourselves and like what your draft process is like?
Yeah, I think our team just excels. I mean, we're just really strong laners all around, and I think if they have even a slight winning matchup, they can like push that to its limits and really like abuse enemy laners. So if I have to blind pick jungle to do that, I'm okay for it.
Oh, don't say that, Carter.
Diego, the rest of the split.
Although I would really love counter pick.
There you go.
There it is.
There it is. Give him a chance.
So 5 games in, 4-1. You talk about the confidence of the players around you. I'm curious where you're at confidence-wise, or how rather. I guess I want to expand that more to like you in your career. We were able to talk to you at different points. I do remember having you on the desk following your step back into the LCS. It was quite an emotional day for you. Where is your confidence level at? Like, I don't really have a better way to phrase that question very generally, I guess. But like, do you feel like you have finally, you know, found like your best form? Are you here to stay? Like, what's the imprint that you want to leave on the LCS?
Honestly, I think my confidence right now is like at its peak that it's been in the past like 4 years, 5 years maybe, ever since C9. I think I'm one of the best junglers in the league right now. I mean, I'm just gonna keep showing it with my gameplay. That's all I gotta say.
There
Boom.
we go.
There you have it. We have one more game ahead of us. I just want to get quick thoughts from you on our remaining teams. It's Immortals, Progressive on one side. It's a winless Dignitas on the other. Just quick thoughts on either of the teams, players, and how you think maybe the matchup will go.
I think River will probably run the game.
There it is.
From one jungler to another, watch out for River. Dig may have had a rough start in summer, but maybe a few inspirational words are all they need to get the dub here. Take a look.
All right, guys. We went 0-3 this past weekend. We just got crushed. It doesn't feel good. Those kind of weekends don't happen very often, but it feels so bad. But let me tell you something that you already know. Life is not all rainbows and sunshine. It is a mean and nasty place, and it'll beat you to your knees, and it'll keep you down there if you let it. But life ain't about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward, how much you can take and keep moving forward. That is how winning is done.
Isn't that from the Rocky movie?
Oh,
Welcome back. It has been a rocky start for Dignitas, honestly. 0-4 is...
Where'd that pen go?
I don't know.
Here it is.
Oh,
Here it is.
you got your pen back?
Because I
Oh,
forgot the Evil Geniuses win streak is over.
nice.
It's been 0 hours.
It's been 0 hours since Evil Geniuses lost a game. Hopefully, at the end of the day, it'll be 0 days since Dignitas have lost a game. Because they would love to get themselves back onto the spot. So here we go. The question is, Immortals, their one win was a big comeback against FlyQuest, right? It was. I don't want to say gifted to them, but like, the win doesn't inspire confidence. Like, oh man, they're back, they're so ready to go. And Dignitas, of course, 0-4 themselves. Have had some rough ones. So, we have seen so many teams rise back up. CLG open first. TSM had a couple of good wins, like TL earlier on. I want to see which of these teams can come in and be like, okay, no. We're shaking off the week one jitters. We're ready to go.
Yeah, we just heard their motivational speech from Dignitas. It's about how quickly you get back up. They got hit 4 times, Freak. They're 0-4.
Yeah.
That's 4 punches to the dome. And now it's about how they return. Versus Immortals, let's see, already really heavy focus on jungle. This is a bit of an aberration, not quite as much focus on bottom lane with the Volibear Wukong double ban. Contracts just said, watch out for River, he's gonna run this game, and Immortals say, yes, we will double ban him at least in an era of bottom lane supremacy.
Yeah, a lot of jungler bans right here, and their clip's gonna be gone. All right, the 3 premier farming marksmen, I would say, are off the table right now. Still really partial to Senna and comps around her, so may still be an option depending on how it wants to go. We have seen Dignitas play it. We have not seen Immortals this split on that kind of a style. Actually, sorry, they have. I scrolled too far. Both have played Senna Tahm Kench. Maybe we'll see it picked up here.
Last ban, is it gonna find its way here? The Fiora, the blind pickable.
Yeah.
Nowadays, Fiora banned away. Don't want to give revenge that one. And it's going to be the poke once again. Ezreal, the most popular, grabbed up once again. Doesn't give away too much either at the opening.
There's a Senna hover, which makes a lot of sense to me. I don't think anyone really wants to go for Ezreal TK. You can take a long time to wait. I'm actually really partial to more aggressive farmers than
Mundo today. That was pretty sick.
Mundo was really good. I think it was a really great draft by Golden Guardians. They slotted a win there against TSM. Again, partially Yasuo that we saw in the LEC a couple days ago. There's actually a lot of really nice champions out there, so we'll wait to see. I've been told Senna Gwen is also an option. Haven't seen it, but that's what I've been told, so I'm curious if that comes out at some point here.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because when you get these melee combinations, can you actually do enough poke damage with your Ezreal Karma through a Tahm Kench setup? Because then you're working through gray health regeneration, because they're just backing off. Biscuits from both of them, as we saw last time around. Senna heals on top of that as well, with the Doran Shield start for the Tahm Kench. It feels like it's not even worth it to do, it's not worth it to do the Karma Ezreal anymore, and they go with the Cat instead.
Okay.
Much better scaling than the Karma.
Yes.
So they really heavily invest in late game with these 2 picks. Immortals showing that they do not want to go early with this one. They want to take it late game and get their win versus Dig there.
Yeah, and I mean, Senna Tahm Kench not exactly an aggressive lane. She'd be happy to farm souls, cool, but I think you are scaling really well in support pick and the mid lane pick. Dignitas to say, you know what, Gamsu, right away, get you on an R. That's what we want for you here. Fair enough.
All right.
With the next set of bans, yeah.
If you're blinding Gnar here, then it's easy mismatch solo lane picks. So what are you trying to ban to protect him? Honestly, Aurelia to me is something you have to ban against Revenge if you're picking Gnar. It's kind of a slight if you don't, because he has already played that counter matchup previously, and they're very willing, as shown by the draft, to go top side now. You've got Corki in mid, and you've got a Yuumi in the bottom side. So jungle pressure towards top would be well invested for Immortals. So probably want to ban out, the kill threat counters to Gnar, like Aurelia instead. Meanwhile, for Immortals, some of the mid laners here, anybody who can super abuse Corki early on, of course, your goal is always going to be to scale regardless.
Right, of course. What if you can kind of play that arms race? We're not sure. Of course, Gnar makes it a little bit less likely, but it has been pretty much all carries for Revenge. 2 Gwens and a Fiora. All of those are gone. Obviously,
If they don't ban Aurelia, I want to see it thrown down.
Okay.
I really, really think they should. Since they've stated Revenge is our franchise player, we're building around him. Put your money where your mouth is. Put your champions where your mouth is.
Sure. Well, he's got 1 Aurelia game played on the year. Not so much this split, but you could certainly try. Your magic damage is high enough you can play physical damage top lane, no problem, right? Corki's there.
I think it already is. Yeah,
30%,
sure.
right? Like you're fine if the armor stack. You've got no MR for the Corki magic pen build, so yeah, can work out pretty reasonably. Viego going to be a jungle ban instead.
The other acceptable top lane outcome for me would be if Immortals say, okay, now we're going to buy Disengage for our Corki Ezreal poke comp, and then actually play it safe and pokey and utilize the range. That's also acceptable, but way less cool.
Well, Yasuo, we saw it earlier and didn't work so well, honestly, without much knockup synergy. So you have Tahm Kench and Gnar as, I would say, fairly mediocre setup. Like, Gnar can do it, but it's just so much less reliable. Gragas jungle, of course. Diana jungle, both options.
And Tahm Kench actually needs setup himself to land his own knockup. So if you don't land a Q slow or someone else slows them, then it's actually very hard to, especially late game when people have upgraded boots, to land those Ws. So I definitely agree those are less than ideal. Hey, the crowd's a winner though. Ornn heard your cheers in the previous game and has shown up here. So this is the second route, the peel, the structure for the late game. This is just Immortal saying, you know what? Let's just agree to no fighting early game.
Right. Yeah, no rush 20.
Scale.
Yeah, who's played no rush 20 before? That is a very deep cut. Shout out StarCraft, the original. Lee Sin locked in as the 1 early game champion in this entire lineup here for Immortals. Otherwise, yes, scaling is going to be looking at Gragas, Diana, which one do you like more? Do you want to do a bit more magic damage? Diana, do you want more frontline? Gragas, which one do you want to go for? Who knows?
I want Gragas.
Tahm Kench is farming. He can be a frontline.
Oh, actually, you know what I want is Diana, Sunfire Demonic Embrace. I've been trying to promote Diana, Sunfire Demonic Embrace so heavily.
Everyone knows.
Dang. All right, well, I did say that Gragas is the one that I want because I think it's way more repeatable and you have a lot of early access to it. Contracts just shouted out River, said he was going to run the game. Now you've got a big combination here with the Gragas Yasuo.
Alrighty, and Kobe, I would like to point out that the champions are all in the rightful spots in the correct order. So Mark had come in during the previous game.
Okay.
I'd like to believe that his essence remained to affect the next champion select. So thank you, Mark Z, for coming up during game 4.
Yeah.
There was going to be no champ swap bug, which means, by the way, no silly games up here.
Yeah.
Sadly.
So I would say Mark keeps his 100% bug deflection rates.
Yeah.
Because arriving just after the bug in the first game doesn't count, and it's applied to this one. I agree.
It's a long duration spell shield. It's like a 50-minute long spell shield that's been popped. Hopefully he'll come back next week for us on Saturday, but pretty well done here. So is it going to be Dignitas finding their first win of the summer split? And they would hope so. If they get this win, it would be Biofrost's 200th career LCS victory. I've brought the storyline up several times because it keeps being 199 and then never getting over the finish line. So I hope we can get this one here. It'll be Gamsu's first LCS win in an incredibly long time. But it'd be fun to see that one there as well. Immortals Progressive, of course, going to do their best to move up to 2 and 3 and be sitting around roughly a playoff position as we set up all the standings. But we are on to the Rift here. Immortals versus Dignitas. Let's see who's going to make it happen.
There we go. There's a confident fan.
Yeah.
Dignitas looking to get their first win on the board, and Immortal saying, if you want to do it, you better do it quickly because we get turbo scaling in every lane.
Indeed. Now, earlier this week, Immortal's Revenge told us exactly what he thinks of his opponent in lane. Let's hear.
I know somewhat of Gamsu's history, but I think he's definitely a weaker addition to the league. I'll just prove that this week.
And he'll prove it on Ornn. Now, last time we saw Ornn Gnar, it was spicy.
It certainly was. It was someday solo killing multiple times. I believe it was Licorice on the Gnar.
Yep.
With some fancy moves, dodging so many boomerangs. It felt like Licorice could not land any of them on that quick moving Ornn. So slender, you know, it's really
Yeah. I
too
mean,
tanky, man.
He's lithe. That man knows how to dodge some skill shots right there. An aggressive ward. Now, that will not track... Well, it'll track invade routes, basically. That is a defensive trinket ward to know if something's going to go on with you.
Yeah, Raptor timer is super important for Gragas ganks.
Yeah.
River here, of course, wants to get that early start. We mentioned last time how critical it is if you can burn Corki's flash early. Already a weak laner, and you can actually take over a lot of the neutral objectives simply by putting that Corki on full defense.
Blabbermouth and Neo try to build the lane into a freeze. If you leash for too long, you lose a CS, so they have to cut it relatively early to get there in time as they fight back and forth. And it's going to be, looks like Ezreal on for 3 CS, Tahm Kench only on for 2 to drop one of the melees. Not a huge deal, but worth tracking. Gamsu and Revenge are indeed dealing some damage back and forth to them. Nice 2 shots out there from Neo. Thank you for the soul. Want to note, actually, that it is a comment on the Yuumi. So most commonly, I think you see Aerie for her. It means just simply mounting back onto someone is going to give them the Aerie shield, because you've cast a friendly spell on them, right? It gives them Aerie. It's pretty useful. That's why you'll see like dismounts and remounts as like a defensive option, even without autoing. But going for comment is very, very much the poke build. It's like, no, actually, I think to be part of an AP carry, I want to get a bunch of damage. I'm prowling projectile into Q. It is on average lower win rate, but if your style really is, no, we're going to win by poking and nothing else, then it fits that play style.
Hi, River. Hello. Junglers showing up here in our tri-lane view. Love
EQ. If you wanted to, that could have been EQ flash, decent damage. Huey probably still could have flashed away, but you can reposition the self whirlwind EQ flash if you wanted to go really hard.
Yeah, I think you definitely want to just hold on to your flash here, but I like it, Freak. I like where your head's at.
It's
go for those forces early, baby.
I mean, think about it. The earlier you burn flash, the more flashes you get in a game.
True.
So you start the cooldown sooner.
True.
It's like buying a coal when your lane starts, so you can immediately start getting gold out of it.
And we did. That is the point where they want to attack here for Dignitas, especially early on. Again, looking for any sort of chunks or cooldowns they can burn off of Corki. 100 mana again on the Valkyrie every time you have to use it. So even when you're passing through, I always like to pass through Corki lanes when I'm going from red quadrant to blue quadrant because it doesn't take a lot of time, and even burning 100 mana, forcing them back like that is significant.
Back and forth for the waves. Blue goes in for CS basically when he has the shield. You can kind of just absorb, an auto and a Q and get your CS in a chunk and then get back out. Always keep moving, by the way. Yasuo builds flow by constantly being in action. So, make sure you are physically running around to get that shield back up. Gonna be up soon. Ken-V gonna jump into range first. When's the Windwall coming down to block anything? There we go. Gets rid of a bit more poke. Out he goes.
Yeah, nice there. Huge value from the Windwall. Doesn't have to blow his flash or anything. Knows there's no actual kill pressure. It's just about how much damage he's going to take as he's walking back to the turret. I was a little bit concerned because you could see he was hovering bottom the whole time, as you should, your jungler side on the crab. But right as River's recall finished is when the gank went through. And so that was definite 2v1 situation. Both junglers kind of evening up that mid lane pressure, though. Fair is fair.
Nice trinket ward as well, put down by, I believe, Revenge. Spotted that Krugs were being attacked. That's why I like it on the right-hand side. It helps you kind of track exactly which way Gragas is going. And so, okay, he's going back down towards Raptor. It's going to be another full clear. No big deal. I believe they saw the champion individually, so knew even his CS count. 7 camps with that one gone. Nice knockup, but Revenge could be pushed back, and we'll see how much of this farm he's allowed to get here. Would love to equalize at 38 apiece. Has more to farm, so should be able to do so. As, as our Mind Meld showed, the first forge has indeed been Doran's shield for Revenge here. He'll probably wait to get... if you really want to go defensive, you could go Warden's Mail. It is the best defensive option against Gnar. But if you don't think you need that much more, you can just simply move towards your Sunfire item.
Yeah, I definitely like the Bomby Cinder. That's why last time around when we had this matchup, we set such a high bar with the Bomby's explosion is where our solo kill came from for the Ornn for Someday. Getting that extra bit of burst damage onto the Gnar.
And there he is.
All right. Now, well, he has very little mana and has not been able to go back for like a spellbook into Ignite or anything.
No, I think that turns on, about 6 minutes, right about when ults come along. So,
yeah.
you know, there's a chance, but yeah, can't even do a full combo. It's not going to be much. Mega Gnar comes through, knocks down the wave. We'll see when Gomps wants to come back to lane, but happy to lane right now on his Doran's Blade. He's coming back down as well. River on 42 CS. 5 camps in a ward or so.
So if all goes according to plan for Immortals, we're going to get 20 more minutes of this level of pace.
Oh, great. Yeah. Oh. Can be around. Now, River has Body Slam Flash to set up Blue. Does not get spotted, but neither one actually does. Early Spite, that's an easy take. Who wants a Body Slam Flash? No! Blue didn't follow through. Did not press R, and now that's a nice rocket. Power of Evil gets the Scuttlecrap. Advantage Immortals.
Advantage Immortals. The farming continues, baby. No flash on Gragas is actually huge for this combination. I mean, it's still definitely doable, especially when Gragas gets access to ultimate. You can still do it from range, but not going to have that threat now. And Kenby didn't have to flash. Lee Sin slipped right out of there. Safeguard up the river. And continue on farming. Again, Immortals so happy with this pace of the game. But it's not really towards the mid stages where Dignitas can actually turn up the heat and start to force.
Yeah, Yasuo right now, like, he's like, okay, I'll get my farm, as long as I keep my CS good against Corki, because it's a melee range matchup, like, we got a little bit to go, but, you know, once he's on about an item and a half, that's, I think, a really, like, good power spike if you're, you know, Mythic plus Zeal, or you get all the way to 2 items. That is really where it's like, this is like the peak of his power level compared to other champions. And when you're really going to start to see Dignitas turn the pace, that's why I would like to see them find a way to their first Drake. They do have some gold, but starting Drake stacking helps you ensure that you're fighting like climactic fights before 3 items.
Can he get the Q stop on the recall? That's my question. Look at the mini-map. He did not get it. The recall goes through. River, level 6, coming for possible combination here. Doesn't have flash, again, so definitely a lot more risky there.
Yeah.
Actually, kind of, I'm curious. Did you for sure see that the Body Slam did hit?
Definitely hit Body Slam Flash.
Okay, well, just didn't follow through on the combo then, didn't press.
Yeah. I know Scuttleble's like there as well, but I mean,
yeah.
There's a chance of I'm misremembering, but I'm pretty sure he actually hit the Lee Sin specifically.
Well, it is going to be Shelly here, so that's a way to get that money, even if Immortals are trying to farm and are not going to extend anybody to get killed. Rift Herald taken without contest, because, of course, Immortals want everything calm until the late game. River will pick that one up. Kenby, though, is level 6, too.
True, and a chance at a 2v1 on the Yasuo, but not going to happen. Of course, they know Gragas has got to be at least nearby, considering they just killed Scuttle, or they killed Herald. He's got to be around for that one, so they don't go in for too much. No real aggression. Again, no need. Immortals happy with a pretty slow place, but Dignitas looking at turret plates they have farmed. That count is 0, so it will just be the 300 gold charge. Money at least halfway towards the Gragas. Blue buff handoff, and still happy with a very slow-paced one. There you go.
I would also want Dig, because all the lanes are so heavily invested in scaling for Immortals, to try and force on a bit of an early dragon here. As soon as you get your recall from Yasuo, as soon as Blue comes back with his Zeal, and extra little bit of longsword damage, start getting these cooldowns going, rotating through, so you can put that pressure on Immortals.
Right.
Use every lever that you have in the game to try and force a little bit earlier. Even though you do have Senna, which technically scales infinitely, Immortals have 3 lanes of super high value. So.
Yeah, and games don't go to 97 minutes.
Aha! That sounds like a challenge.
That sounds like a challenge.
That we will fail.
Games don't tend to go to 97 minutes, so the infinite scaling, though technically true, in practice functionally never matters. And, you know, Ornn getting to craft 3 extra upgraded mythics, which is probably average for Ornn. Yeah, really good power.
All right, the heavy investment towards bottom actually going to really hurt Immortals, because Dignitas just make that push right up mid. Guess what? They're getting more than the expected value with this Herald. Meanwhile, the engage
Yeah, looking pretty good right there. You got a bit coming through from Yuumi, able to keep them safe. Kenvi ultimately kick, flash, goes to safety. River put his own ulti down, and now Dragon being attempted, and I don't know if Immortal's going to even try, but Power Vivo with package may look for this.
That was a really good force from Dig, though. They only used Gragas ultimate, and they got both Lee Sin and Yuumi ultimate down. 2-for-1 ulti trade as the Dragon is up. So now they're just backing off, respecting the package.
Yeah. Gamsu briefly looked at mid and said, okay, back to top lane because Revenge pushing it down. Maybe the TP is available, so walks away from it. But now this means Immortals will actually grab the first Drake of the game. Let's River has something to say about it. Big smites are up on both sides. Flash available for Gragas is back here. And this could be a burst attempt. He's going to claim it. Nicely done. First Drake on package across. Good damage. Neo puts on the shield. Gets shot. First blood comes through to blue. And a safety for Lost. So far, it's a Drake. It's a 1-for-0. And Dignitas looking for their first win of the LCS Summer Split.
Your package will not save you, Immortals. Dignitas, show no fear. River, that confidence, he knows with the Gragas burst. You've got Barrel fermenting under the Dragon, plus the body slam auto smite. Immediately takes the Dragon and then goes right onto Kenvi. I believe he saved his body slam from that combo, actually. It was just the Q as well as the auto. And then right after Dragon goes to the engage onto Kenvi. They pick up the extra kill for Yasuo and get their Dragon too. So true to his word, River indeed running this game early. So let's check. I'm pretty sure it's just the Q and the empowered auto, and then he uses the body slam with the flash. Yep. Oh, it's the...
I think it got autoed by a Lost.
There it is. Gets the body slam, flash onto Kenvi. They get that combo, and then Biofrost, all he has to do, Tahm Kench ultimate onto Neo, make sure Senna's not in any danger. And Dignitas cruising right along, controlling the early objectives.
Yeah, looking good to find that first Drake. They can keep on moving forward, and of course Herald already charged the mid lane, which means that turret can die to second Herald, I think with just the charge. Kenvi, Cask, ulti, a lot of damage, bodies on the follow, exhaust is on, a kick, a ward hop, he wants to live. One more shot would do him in. He's still going to burn down. Thank you very much to the red smite. And it's going to be another one on the board. Dignitas 2-0.
Attaboy, River. Let them have it. Windwall going to get them safe passage right back here towards mid too. And this tower's so low. With no jungle, you see Neo recalling actually coming mid instead. They're going to take over the red buff. Kenvi going to get punished even more.
I'm going to look into the bottom side. Is there a red buff to start camps to steal? Yes, there are. Dueling wards in the brush. PoE cannot finish that kill, but will be Raptors taken away as well. So going to Dignitas say, okay, we're not going to get any more plates easily. PoE will wave through that. Yeah, we get 400 damage to the turret, but we'd rather steal away 200 gold from your jungle and get you even farther behind Lee Sin.
Yeah, I mean, this is my most hated style of comp ever, is we're going to sack every lane, go turbo scaling for Immortals, all 3 lanes, and then it's up to the other team. You're like daring them, okay, you can't grab enough off of the map in time for us to get to our ascended, Ornn handing out items to our turbo poke comp.
Yep.
But it's Dignitas are saying, yes, we can! And they're doing just that. So it's really just a matter of how many turret plates, how many jungle camps. So you take away everything from Immortals.
And of course, the problem was this opening was left open by Immortals themselves. Immortals were like, yeah, we're going to contest the Dragon setup. Ooh, Kenvi lost ult flash and Yuumi ult. And then they went for Dragon again, and they lost the Dragon to end the fight. It's like, what happened to sacking everything? Like, why not wait? And it gave some of that room for Dignitas, because the second kill on Kenvi was because his flash was down. All that just, stepping up for too much a little bit ago. Interestingly, that Trinket Ward actually spots some of that movement out, so won't get any more there. But yeah, top lane just chilling. 11 CS difference in Revenge. I mean, I suppose a 10 CS difference against Gnar is good job. You're doing well in lane.
Yeah, pretty calm up there. Our expectations are set so high from yesterday.
With
3 solo kills before 6.5 minutes.
Yeah.
That was definitely the most exciting ever. River, though, continues to take away jungle camp after jungle camp. This would also be a good game for some abnormal stats of how much time River spends in the opponent jungle. How many of these camps is he stealing away? Because it's most of them, as well as all the neutrals. Kenvi trying to pick up the scraps there, does get the Gromp at least, and come to huddle with Revenge.
I remember a stat from 2014 Worlds, which was Dandy, the jungler for Samsung Wipe, which was like 33% of the time when he kills a red buff, it's the enemy red buff across Worlds. It's like he's aggressive that often. That's how much he's stealing away. This is what we talked about when casting LCS games without kills, is stats from 8 years ago. And I remember that one for some reason.
All right, what about this dragon, baby? 40 seconds.
Ooh.
And the package, you can delay and actually sync up package again. If Immortals feel like round 2, if they get package in time, and they actually have their ultis ready for the fight, Ornn now, level 11, does have teleport to join, is walking out mid lane, baby. That's a good sign, Freak.
Ooh, here we
Ultimate's
go.
ready. They want a dragon to their name. 2.4k gold lead here for Dignitas, though, and Gamsu himself charging up that Gnar bar on the top side of the map.
Current pace of the game is a 26-minute soul. If Dignitas were to get them unopposed instantly every time.
Gamsu transforms a little early, but should be fine.
Now it is Unleashed Teleport. It's a ping on the fact that his wave's been knocked into the tower and Yuumi is in base right now, and I don't think Yuumi follows any of that, so it's going to be the Drake uncontested. Immortal saying, okay, we're going to wait for a bit longer, and again, 26 minutes is the point where it's like, you better start team fighting, or that's just going to be a Hextech soul making it tough for you to do anything.
Yeah, that was not a joke at the beginning of the game. Like I said, they want 20 more of this, you know, nothing happening.
Yeah.
It's exactly what they want. And Dignitas will try and take as much as they can. Take from them everything, Dig. Make them pay. Shelly on the bottom side. Tower number 1. They'd love to get number 2 here. Still have 3 members. Oh, they're already pulling off members. All right, it's just going to be left to die there as Revenge executes Shelly.
Yeah, they're valuing the charge at lower than, you know, making sure they're ready to go for mid-wave and not losing any gold or damage there, so okay, fine. Dignitas, though, sitting on a very healthy, nearly 4,000 gold lead. Honestly, the pacing here feels Dignitas favored, right? Like, this is, you know, above expectation of these comps facing.
Yeah, I would definitely say there's a large, like, maybe a 2K-ish would be what you kind of expect when it's turbo scaling, all losing lanes for Immortals here if they like perfectly, you know, defend and don't give up the extra, you know, kill around dragon and extra priority that they gave there. We are going to constantly be cautioning against the timer here for Immortals as they continue to scale up. We'll see Corki now relegated up to the top side as Lost and Ignar have come mid. Trying to rotate now that the bottom tower is down and keep up the scaling there of their poke.
And I gotta say, Blue, 100% KP and 12 CS a minute. Like, that is really good. So massive credit to him for just being so ahead of the curve. Item-wise, like, you kind of can't earn more gold medals without being spoon-fed just like a train of enemy champions.
And the Yasuo is critical to this composition here. This Dig composition, they have to get you know, the all-in with this team. Yeah, it's easy with, you know, Gragas and Yasuo to make sure you can get an all-in, but not messing up one of these dives. If you do mess up one of them and give a big chunk of money over to Immortals, that accelerates their scaling and gets them to their breakpoints here. So Dig do need Blue to be a very fed member of the team, to have that threat for the all-in. And Kempi actually maybe wants to make him pay. There's no deep vision for Dignitas, so they have to be a little bit careful with their split pushing.
Looking though.
And Kempi's behind him. He's got ulti, he's got flash.
Lands onto a minion, they're not going to be enough there. And Blue's like, nah, you're not going to get me. It's even the can at the very end there with the tornado, and mid lane under fire. Almost enough damage. Won't be quite enough as the wave goes down. Dignitas about to be 3-0 on turrets. Minutes away from their 3rd dragon at the 21-minute mark.
Oh, they're actually calling both split pushers back here for Dig to make sure they get this mid tower without just exposing anyone. So it's an easy push. You just win wall, finish down the tower, and no blood loss.
We go 4,500 now. FTX Gold Advantage looking pretty good here for Dignitas. Immortals hope they can find their way back in. It's just, okay, who can play on the side lane, get their farm up. Good CS for Power People too.
Oh, here we go, Freak. We got our first breakpoint. Our 20-minute mark, double Muramana transformation. Mythics also done for Ezreal and Corki. Our 20 minutes of waiting have paid off for Immortals. 2 item power spikes for both Poke champions.
Huge.
The expected pathway through this game for Immortals is starting to come to fruition. Level 13 here for Revenge, so he's about to start blinging out the rest of the team. We'll be able to get to his item shortly.
Yep. Currently on TP Ghost, 1 minute away from the 3rd Drake of the game, and unsure if Immortals will want to play for it. For now, they're safe enough playing for these waves. I think Yuumi is going to, almost every single team fight, permanently be on the Corki. I think that is the primary carry of this comp. He's got the most farm. got the most XP.
Especially while you're just throwing out
Rocker, though, TP flank. This is the play. Looking for it. When's the cast coming across? A flash away to safety. Health bar's a bit low. Neo low. Into the wall they go, and Lost is going to lose his life. And how about retreating, though? What else can even happen? Because Immortals dared to look at mid lane, and Dignitas punished him for it.
Exactly. This is a Dignitas branded Summoner's Rift, okay? Immortals sold it to them at the cost of their champion select. The first 20, probably even 30 minutes of this game, and Dignitas correctly wiped them off of the Dignitas Rift. Dragon will be up here. 17 seconds with 9 seconds left on Lost, so Immortals get another chance.
Sure.
Revival of Ezreal. They can get back out here and try and poke. This time around, there won't be a flash for Gamsu or a teleport for the flank. So round 2, they can eliminate one of the flankers, but River is what you got to worry about here. Flash on Gragas is still ready, so they can make another attempt at the play. Yasuo combination is there.
No ulti on short notice. Yes, Revenge could go for an engage. Gamsu's going to take some decent damage. Here's got to respect it. Still Mininar only half a bar. This could be a push, but you got to go, I feel like, pretty fast here. River over the wall. If you get this, you delay Dragon Soul by 5 minutes.
River's just going to go for the flip steal. He's got confidence.
Okay. Cask up now. This could be a cataclysmic team fight. Smite's going to come through. No contest, no fight for Dignitas. When does it happen? Looking back and forth for the poke. Neo taking a bit of a chunk there. Good job by the Corki. Here comes the first bit from Revenge. Yuumi gonna follow through as well. Windwall gonna block a lot of it. Here comes the cast. It is the fight that Immortals picked, except they will all die. 0-4 in the team fight. Dignitas' record 0-4 no longer. They deal fatalities to Immortals as it's gonna be Ignar running for his life now.
It's a dead cat floating right there. Ignar may try and run, but he cannot hide. River's on him, and he's not letting go.
And that's going to be Baron assaulted. That's never going to be a chance. The Bud Light Ace comes through, and this is going to be Baron as well. No contest. Dignitas look to end the week finally on the scoreboard.
Yeah, man, that patience from River the whole time. Just sitting there on Gragas. Yeah, nice poke. I see. And then strikes as Immortals dare to step up. Even at the beginning, River was on vision, and he's just kind of waiting around. Immortals here, they want to use the package. I'm pretty sure that's why they force it here, because maybe they're saying the cooldown of the timer.
Right there. Look, they're lined up. Hit it.
Yeah, they've got the Yuumi going through wind wall, and boom. Doesn't get anything out of it.
Did it time out?
Yeah, right as he went in, it was a regular Valkyrie. Right as he went in, it was a regular Valkyrie, and then
disappointed.
River flashes over the wall, throws the ulti here, and it's a complete egg on your face for Immortals. Dignitas are just running it.
Even when Immortals try to fight, like, every choice has been wrong, and I feel so bad about it, but like,
I don't because I want any
want that
team
to fail?
Yeah, I want this to fail. I want any team picking, all scaling, losing lanes to get it.
Every choice to fight has been wrong, or like mechanically blundered by hitting W too late and your ult time's out. Like, I mean, huge mistakes here for the Immortal squad. They've made nothing but bad choices, maybe even from Champ Select itself, with 0 winning lanes, seeding the entire Rift, and it just blooms towards Dignitas here. You got a Drake steal, congratulations, but now a 10,000 gold lead before 24 minutes. Dignitas are gonna put in a lot of pressure here, wearing that Baron buff. 2,700 gold in the Red Bull Baron power play, and looking now at Inhibitor itself, and honestly, with about 1 item per champion, Immortals unlikely to fight for it.
River coming over, big burp in the sidelines. Doesn't give away his position. Ulti on top is only gonna be a tiny bit of damage that immediately gets healed up by Yuumi.
Woo! All right, well, keeps that one alive, but the turret, of course, already doing a lot of work. The mid-tier 2 dropped from Gansu's split push, and they're still gonna try on the bottom side. Neo actually gonna be the best turret siege on the team. Everyone else tends to be melee, only sometimes for Nar. Ooh, that's actually a decent rocket there, but healed partially back up by the Senna now. And they hold the line. The wave clear not too bad for Mortals. And even with a Baron are able to keep their Inhibitor turret alive.
Yep, I mean this is where the bar has been moved to for Immortals. It's just, all right, now we need another 10 minutes of just defense constantly at our towers. Well, a couple more items here. Corki very far from getting the Ravenous though, so it will be a while. And Dig so happy with the pace. 11,000 gold lead, and they're not done yet. Another turret freak Add another 1,000.
Yes, indeed. Nicely done. Plus 800. Thank you, 11.9. As 11 CS per minute. Also, by the way, the score for Blue still holding up to a very nice mark. Not far behind is Power of Evil. Just over 10. Dirt certainly has farm up. But, of course, a bunch of goose eggs here on the scoreboard. I want to point out, Immortals started their season getting perfect game. One dragon. All that separates them right now.
We are getting another look at that timeout. Let's see. Valkyrie is on. Where does it go? Poof. He's going for the W. Oh no! It's not even.
It's like a full
It's been
second.
gone. Yeah, it's been gone, bro. Ah, shit.
Ignar hit the button. Pee-wee's like, we can wait longer. We can wait longer. Ah, he's face planted. It's a mistake. We'll get off it for now because there's plenty of other mistakes in this game, but
Dude,
one
that
feels
actually
obvious.
is some good TikTok material. We can make a clip out of that.
Ooh, okay.
There's definitely something there. Every second counts, freak.
That's
a sponsored
Yeah,
segment.
every 4 seconds counts at this point, but that's okay. 20 seconds next Dragon. At this point, Immortals maybe have learned the lesson. Maybe don't fight for Dragon when your comp isn't ready yet. Unfortunately, they've given away so much gold, their comp will never be ready unless we go 93 minutes to the Dream.
See? Never say never, freak.
Never say never. Will this game go 93 minutes, Gobi? Over, under?
No. But do you remember? Never mind.
I do.
Let's go with the Dragon pick up here for Dignitas.
They're gonna get it. River puts down the cast, gets a bit of damage to him. Ooh, we got a Tom Kent chubby coming from underneath as well.
Barrel gonna
bounty
explode!
available for Immortals, but they will not claim it. Dignitas find the third dragon.
Dragon Soul Point, baby. Let's get it. Dignitas, the Punishers. They're gonna recall, buy their items, get right back onto the mini map here. Let's see. That is a 3-item power spike also with a stopwatch. That's a play waiting to be made, freak. The safety here on Blue with the stopwatch. The setup from Riv, beautiful.
Baron.
He's in his lane. Look at that. He's looking mid. The Ezreal Yumi in sight. He's got Predator prop.
Can't find the engage just yet. They go back over the wall.
Immortals go scurrying back inside their defenses.
Revenge spots Gamsu. They trade intense glances back and forth and decide today is not the day we fight. Soon though. We will have our honorable duel. We spent 20 minutes trading minions back and forth in top lane. Soon we will trade ultimates inside your base. Ward is slain. Neo, 30 gold richer, puts his own ward down over the wall. What has been slain will be reborn.
Did you see the newest Matrix?
I did on the plane.
Well, what's your evaluation? What's your score? Yeah, that's what I felt like. The first part of it was pretty good. I thought they were going pretty well, and then the second half of the movie was actually just terrible.
Yeah,
it's not even like this game. It was just like this whole one was terrible, and the whole thing was pretty boring.
Oh,
from
no.
Immortals. 0-0, 0 towers taken for Immortals, 0 kills. They did get 1 dragon. Though.
Yep. They paid for that Drake with a Baron and 5 kills, but they did not get perfect games, okay? Perfect games, Immortals, twice in the same split, yet.
All right, well, the Baron buff. Can they even get some Miracle Steal? Lost has his ulti. Oh, that's kind of early. I think he's blind, but no chance.
Gonna miss it, but the teleport's coming in.
Oh, here we
Immortals
go, baby.
trying to find their way to get a Baron steal. Revenge is here. Orange does absolutely nothing, and he's gonna get right back out. Baron claimed again by Dignitas, but Power of Evil has the package. Will he let it time out again?
Actually, biggest. Okay, we got a snare under Revenge.
Blue walks back to safety. Low
Minions
on
down mid,
flow.
Are they gonna go mid?
River, Neo, and the rest of the squad are ready to keep going down the mid lane. Blue Trinket spots what's going on. PoE rejoins the squad.
I'm clicking on Corki for the package. All right, he's still got plenty of time. There's a quarter of the time left on package still.
Baron buff Warren will time out exactly when the final dragon of the game spawns. If it even goes that long, we're gonna find the first route. Revenge gonna jump away, stay safe. Pack is still available. River on the side.
Oh, it's about to time out. It's literally gonna time out.
Here's the explosive cast. The damage. He got it off. Package to safety. PoE finds W on his keyboard, but Immortals will not find a W in this game. Still killless in this battle as it's a push down the mid lane. True shot barrage hits some minions, but it will be those minions pushing down the mid lane as well. The turret shall fall. Will Immortals find something to do, or will it be Dignitas who are Immortal in this game as the bot lane waves coming in as well, and a safety gate used to come out.
Hextech here utilized to its fullest to reposition to the outside of the tower. Now the rest of Dig coming to finish what they started. Freak.
Missing the knock-up is Biofrost. Kenvi nearly drops 100 health left on him. Despite the root from Senna, a little bit too angsty, a little bit too far forward, but now the engage comes in, the flash forward lost, nearly drops, there's the hops, will it be one? Nothing picked up yet, but the turret could help, Gamsu is low, transforms back out, a 2-0, and Dignitas now go for the Nexus turret, Serena will dodge, will be not quite the knock-up, final turret alive, is it going to be enough now as the Mega Nari get into the wall, and it's going to be this poor Orin left alone, tanky, but not a lot more he can do, health bars get low, Blue is going to burn the stopwatch, wind wall in the way, gets off to the side, Nexus under fire, a single dragon separates the mortar from their second perfect game loss. Biofrost, 200 wins in the LCS.
That was certainly a game of League of Legends that we watched.
We watched that game.
I want that on my t-shirt. Dignitas on the board, baby. They just got over a 15,000 gold lead for their first win of the summer split of the LCS.
Yep. Let it be known, 3 losing lanes, still not a good League of Legends composition even, but Dignitas.
Or competition.
Honestly, yeah, they weren't much of one. But Dignitas came away with the win. They played aggressively, they kept the tempo going the whole time, they set up for every objective. They at least contested all of them, but yeah, 3 and 1 on Dragons, double Baron, double Herald, a lot of turret pushes. Like Dignitas had the better early game, and they kept pushing the better early game.
All the durability in the world isn't going to save you from that.
They only made champions more durable, not turrets, Scobie. Yep. Objectives otherwise all die at the same rate, so Dignitas just took every single one of them.
That's going to do it for us for week 2 of the LCS.
Yep.
Thoroughly enjoyed this one.
Great week. A lot of really cool results.
Actually crazy, too, to think about still. Even though we just cast the game, EG and CLG tied up there at the top as well.
Yeah.
I believe one other team had 1 loss, right?
I think 100 Thieves? No, I think they're up
2?
10,
They've got
actually.
2. Okay,
Yeah.
it's just them, baby.
I mean, C9 got their 2-0 this time with the other roster having the subs in. It was, not the best look. So
Team Liquid.
They had the 0-3 start. Yeah, Team Liquid still pretty incredible. Of course, their 1 loss is to TSM, pretty surprisingly. So EG's 1 loss is to CLG. TL's 1 loss is to TSM. And CLG's 1 loss is to FlyQuest. So it's, it is really interesting seeing how many of these teams can punch up to the really, really strong ones, because TSM FlyQuest sitting kind of around the middle, but they've taken down otherwise undefeated teams. So I'm very excited for what the rest of the split looks like, because we do have some teams who are punching very high.
Yeah, definitely some fun stuff so far. Let's get over to the other interview. What do we got?
Belated Father's Day celebration, because BioDaddy is here for our post-game interview. That's good.
I feel like a lot of the casters were waiting to say that for quite some time and make the BioDaddy joke. So, Biofrost, I do have something to congratulate you on. 200th win in your LCS career here. How did it feel getting it in such a fashion?
It's nice. I thought I would have gotten the win earlier, but it's good to get the win nonetheless.
Now, what were your major takeaways as a team from that first week all the way here to get the victory today?
Yeah, I think our initial start definitely was not great. One thing that was puzzling us was that our disparity in scrim results versus on stage. So something wasn't quite translating, but we did have confidence that we're going to play better and that our 0-3 start wasn't everything that we showed. We're definitely on the right trajectory. A lot of cliche stuff, but I think we're okay.
Well, and sometimes it does take time too when you do have roster changes. Can you tell me a bit about playing with Gamsu there in the top lane?
Yeah, Gamsu hasn't been with us for very long, but we might be all going through some stage jitters right now. Quiet, composed guy, like a stuffed teddy bear.
Has he cooked for you all yet?
No, it's a shame actually. He hasn't cooked for us, but he should.
Shame. You should be cooking. Another thing I wanted to discuss with you, though, because we're here celebrating your 200th win, but back in spring, I was also celebrating with you your 2000th assist within your career. How do you look at your career at this point in time where you have such a history and a lot of veterancy in that way, but at the same time, you started this new chapter?
Yeah, it feels weird to be old, I guess. I've been here for a while. I remember when I first started playing in LCS, it was me as like the young blood, and it feels definitely it's in a readjustment process where like, oh yeah, I'm old compared to everyone else now, but I don't see it as like a problem. I don't think age is a problem unless you make it. So hopefully I'll be here for many years to come.
Well, we are looking forward to it. Everyone that is a Dignitas fan, thank you for joining us for the interview.
Thank you for having me.
Dignitas putting a win in the books here to end our week of gameplay. Let's go ahead and break it all down on the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much, Tigress, and congratulations to Biofrost once again on snagging that 200th career LCS win.
We need another popper for him.
You're right.
Where was it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mark is generally, in the past, has been the one to go acquire big old poppers. So maybe we can open the show next week.
You looking for the
by,
poppers?
I was
one
looking
in.
for the closest thing I could use.
just to throw.
Well, there's like
You can throw my
in the
pen.
air.
from Bud Light League Lounge up ahead. There's something
No,
you
no,
can
no,
shake
no,
and
no, no.
spray in theory, but
Oh
I
Lord.
don't wanna.
Yeah, that's gonna create some problems. This was a pretty clean win for Dignitas. I mean, they were a Drake away from Perfect Gaming Immortals here.
This is an insanely clean game out of them. There were a lot of mistakes by Immortals, but I think Dignitas did a good job punishing this mistake here. Was a big one that people on Twitter were definitely going off about. The Valkyrie gets rooted, flashes the root on top of other people. A big oopsie right there. But Dignitas played super clean. I couldn't really point out anything they could have done better.
Yeah, I was really happy with it. The team fighting was the biggest aspect for it because it felt like watching a lot of their losses, all of their losses, I guess, that's how it was around bot side River team fights that were just working fully for Dignitas repeatedly. And we kept saying that Gamsu isn't the problem because a lot of those fights were regardless of him, but it really felt like they zeroed in on, of course, the team compositions that they really wanted to play, but also just recognizing fight for fight, which one did we want to take? For sure, their cleanest game so far this split, and it feels like they're only getting better.
I also think it was cool to see the Senna lane come out, again, just because of the things we talked about where we're like, okay, they definitely don't have the same identity as they did previously.
Yeah.
But obviously, that's not always going to get through. But I liked seeing it because it was a different aspect of it, right? Because this is a lot more like mid-jungle setup focus with the Yasuo Gragas.
And speaking of that, I do want to give a shout out to Blue, who, though they didn't win yesterday, had a nasty Azir performance, basically 1v9.
Oh, yeah.
And then here, I think River was the star for a lot of us, but he was the one playing follow-up on a lot of River's sick engages, and like might have been a player of the week potentially if they were actually able to get that win against Cloud9.
I'll remind you all rather again at the end of the show, but Blue is one of the people who will be joining myself and the Tigress on the Bud Light League Lounge, so you can get to know him a little bit better. But outside of that, I did want to mention what? Sorry.
I was just saying, you turned the curse around. Before it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
On Bud Light League Lounge, you're losing.
In spring, you did not want to come on the Bud Light League Lounge because it meant you lost that day. But we had CLG guys on last week. They had a perfect weekend. Now we've got the Dig guys.
you
They
won
get their
me on
first
that
win.
show.
Just saying to the rest of the squads out there. But the other thing I wanted to talk about, as you brought up River in his performance in this game, is that Contracts called that out. In our pregame, when I asked him for thoughts on this game, he's like, it's going to be River from the jungle, carry performance, get ready, their win's coming. That was cool.
Yeah, and I think for River, I mean, we've kind of always known, like, oh, he's a jungler who wants to help his lanes. He, has played like this in LCS from the picks he's had. The Yasuo Gragas is really cool coming out, and hopefully this is, a building block for Dignitas to kind of figure out what they now want their team identity to be, because I think that's still very much up in the air.
Yeah, that's the key. You got the first win, most important part, but now it's about replicating that success. We talk about how important River was to the success today. It makes sense then that he picks up player of the game for his performance. But a quick reminder on how the rest of the day went. It was Licorice in game number 1 to take that honors before Bjergsen steps on stage with TL to snag that. Jensen, returning to the LCS in the mid lane, picks up his Pog for the week, and Dokla for CLG in that end. We already mentioned River, but
nice
solo lanes, baby.
Two top laners, two mid laners, and
mid
a
lane
jungler.
sandwich with Bjergsen and Jensen right there, right? Just right next to it.
This is a weird sandwich.
Yes.
You've got
It's a top laner, mid laner.
It's like a sandwich within a piece of cheese on
Or like
top.
a
Or something,
pickle.
It's like, what's going on? Yeah, what happened there? Anyone in particular that you guys want to call out from that Pog list that you don't feel like was necessarily talked much about today?
Ooh, we talked about it a little bit, but Jensen, I would say, was one piece just because he had performed incredibly well within this lane. Last time we seen the Yone, he actually just didn't do too well, actually, in that previous game versus Golden Guardians. This time turned the tide, and it felt like a completely rejuvenated Cloud9.
And I'm going to call it Licorice just because, obviously, I've talked a lot about how Fiora is a broken champion, but also requires you to be paying attention to your side lanes, which I think, like, Golden Guardians have had really good games with Licorice in side lanes and some not so good games with Licorice going to side lanes. So this was a really good example of them improving on how they want to leverage that around taking neutral objectives. So shout out to him.
And Blaze Olive gave him a lot of credit, too, for a lot of the macro decisions that were made.
Facts. All right, but now the top honors of the weekend. Player of the week. We talked about Jensen's performance today, but it was all about Blabber when it comes to the 2-0 undefeated week for the intended starting roster of Cloud9. So for all the turmoil that they faced in week 1, Blabber stepped up in week 2 to deliver a couple of wins.
Yeah, and this was, when I talk about the rejuvenation of Cloud9 coming into this week, sure, you look towards the bottom lane, you find confidence, but it's the person that's always been there, Blabberfish, that I felt like, even though we talked about the cloudiness of yesterday's game versus Dignitas, he was for sure the person shining the brightest on that one. And then you go into this game, that pick that he had on Abbedagge, that was very much solidifying the win there for Cloud9. He was on point.
And even last week, one thing that we were kind of calling out is like, oh, it's cool to see him and Jensen working together again, because it seemed kind of like, not necessarily they picked up where they left off, but they still do have really strong synergy, and I think that will only continue to improve as the weeks go on.
It's also just funny to me on the Jensen Blabber point together, seeing Jensen back on the stage interviewing and talking about Blabber. Like, I noticed you've already called him Blabberfish. Like, we stopped calling him Blabberfish, but that's back when they played, was when he was Blabberfish too, which is just kind of cool to see them reunited.
And he won in his pick. A lot of the times you think of 2 picks with Blabber, it's Olaf and Gragas.
Yep.
And so the fact that he was able to nail it on this one, especially I don't know what's happening in the scrim environment, but we're seeing now Gragas and Yasuo. This was a perfect time for him to bring out the pick that he was known for.
I will say this was a tough week for picking player of the week. All of our undefeated teams lost. There were a lot of 1-1s. The only team that did go 2-0 was C9 and Blabber, but even that one win against Dig was hard fought.
It was a grimy one.
It was a tough week, actually, to pick player of the week.
It was a struggle. That's why I'm glad to not be responsible for picking player of the week. I just get to deliver the news.
Sometimes you're a tiebreaker, and then
if I'm absolutely must.
All of the responsibility is on you.
If I absolutely must.
Don't let this man wash his hand at this. Don't let him do it.
All right, let's talk Samsung SSD Fast 5 for the week. Just a reminder, we track all 5 lanes, different metric for each one. I'm gonna see if any numbers jump out to me. You guys do the same. Shout
out to CLG bot lane.
Hey, a 1-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn right. Also, again, I know that these are a little wonky, but like Takui, with that mythic timing, the next fastest for the week is 3 minutes essentially behind him. That's nuts. Again, I realize that that's piecemeal builds versus just like rushing for the completed mythic.
Yes.
But it's interesting to see the different approaches. And I know Fudge, in his split as a mid laner, was also kind of big proponent of like rushing to the mythic item.
Also, shout out to Huni, who I think has been kind of instrumental, in the way that TSM, even though, yes, obviously they were handed the loss today, I think their entire top side of, Maple, Spica, and Huni has been working really well together.
Yeah, and for TSM fans that are looking for reason to love this team,
Huni's a good reason.
Huni's a great reason.
Always a good reason.
100%. And the draft today was just unlucky. It was rough. The players said it.
Everyone,
Speaker with that tweet immediately.
I mean, everyone seeing that was like, oh, God.
Exactly. But don't lose faith just because of that. This team is much better than we saw today. I think they're on a great trajectory.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, congrats to those of you who earned bonus points on the LCS Sleeper Fantasy app for having this week's top performers in your lineup. Let's take a look at the standings. We have no more undefeated teams in the LCS, so it only took us 2 weeks to get to that point. 3 teams tied in first at 4-1. CLG, Evil Geniuses, Team Liquid, Honda. No winless teams either, though. And I think that's also important to recognize, as Dignitas has now tied up with Immortals Progressive at 1-4.
Where'd all the CLG doubters go? Everyone was like, oh, they're not going to stay tied for first after the first week. And now here they are, week 2, still atop the standings.
There he goes. That works for me in my top 5.
As someone who put them 10, I was sweating the whole time contracting on the desk. I was like, I hope he doesn't punch me in the face.
Oh, for real, we were both in the same boat. I think all of us on the dive have made it so it was like CLG was the last place team, and they are shutting us all up.
I would say, shout out to CLG because, again, we were like, is it team comp or is it they've actually improved in play? And I actually did, even though I wasn't still predicting them to be like stay at the top of the table. I do think it's not just the team compositions they run. I think they have actually improved.
Thank
So,
you. Thank you
very
for saying that, because I was going to ask it, right? Like, when is it time? When are we okay with finally moving past they're reliant on this, they're reliant
Reggie's
on
mad.
that? you know?
Even their one loss that they have versus FlyQuest, they were 5K gold up. You know, it was like not just.
This could be an undefeated
Yeah,
CLG.
like it's not outside the realm of possibility.
And again, I think it's important to have now seen them win in multiple fashions. A very exciting team. Let's take a look at the schedule, though, see who they've got as opponents for next week. We kick things off on Saturday with TSM versus Evil Geniuses. Follow that up with FlyQuest versus Dignitas. 100 Thieves versus Team Liquid Honda. Let's go.
That's a good
Middle of the
one.
day. Golden Guardians versus Immortals Progressive. And we close things out with CLG versus Cloud9. That fifth game of the day,
Secretly,
that's sleeper OP right
That
there.
was strong.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it because I think a lot of people are like, Cloud9 is going to be that team that secretly forces into the top 4 of the league. And right now it's CLG surprising everyone.
CLG's
that's
running
why-
the league right now.
Yeah, CLG is killing it right now. Cloud9 is online. They're finally, like, the players are there. Both Berserker and Sven are, really working through it. And on top of it, they just seem like they have a pretty good heads up on how they want to play the map and play the draft. So great. That one's going to be a fun match. I'm enjoying that one.
Awesome week of LCS, League of Legends, but that's going to do it for our main broadcast. So I do want to take a moment to invite you all to join myself and Tigers, Gamsu, and Blue in the Bud Light League Lounge. And you can catch that on twitch.tv/BudLight right after the highlights, or you can just wait for the raid. We'll send you over there from this channel. But that's going to do it from us here. So on behalf of myself, the casters, the entire broadcast crew, thank you for watching. We'll see you next Saturday for more LCS. Until then, stay healthy, stay safe, be good to each other. Good night. See, you hit the prompter.
I hit the prompter.
All right, we're getting closer. We're locking in.